This is the different kidney models. So our hilus is where all of the vessels enter into. It's this little indentated part here. We have our renal capsule is the outside layer of the kidney. This is our ureter. The renal pelvis is this region here. The major calyces are like this area where the minor calyces, all of these running from each pyramid, collect in the major callus and they all empty into the renal pelvis area here. A renal pyramid is this region, pretty much what we see over here with our nephron. This whole area here is our renal pyramid. At the base of our pyramid, it's probably a little difficult to see, but the base of our pyramid, or right in here, this is the base of another pyramid. Those are our papillae, the pyramid papillae. We have the renal medulla, which is this part of our pyramid, where our nephrons are found, part of the nephrons. And we have the renal cortex, which is this outer layer of the pyramid, running there. Our renal columns run between our pyramids, so they're running this way, the renal columns. If we look at the blood work, we have our renal artery that comes in. It branches into the segmental arteries. The segmental arteries then branch into the interlobar arteries that come up between the pyramids. You can see that here. This is an interlobar artery. We then have the arcuate artery that runs along there. And here's our arcuate artery here. And we have, branching off of that, what goes up deep into our cortex are the interlobular arteries. The interlobular arteries will then run into our glomeruli via the afferent. Here's the afferent arteriole, enters into the glomerulus, our capillary bed here inside of our corpuscle. As it filters through there, we can see that it comes back out the other side as the efferent arteriole. The efferent arteriole will then go through our capillary beds, the peritubular capillaries and the vasa recta. The peritubular capillaries are along the tubules that appear in the cortex. The vasa recta capillaries actually run along this loop of Henle here on the juxtamedullary nephron. Neither one of them are identified on this model. If we look at our corpuscle, this is our renal corpuscle, the whole thing. We have the capsule, known as the Bowman capsule, that surrounds it, the glomerulus that are inside. This is our proximal convoluted tubule, or the beginning of our proximal convoluted tubule. Once again, the afferent and efferent arterioles. These are the macula densa cells of the ascending limb of the loop of Henle. This here, if we look back over here, this is our loop of Henle as it comes down. This is actually the loop. We have the descending and ascending. I guess actually looking here, this would be the descending, this would be the ascending. As the fluid comes back up the ascending, we can see that it empties into what's called the collecting tubule, and that's what we have here is our collecting duct or collecting tubule. This region right in this area here is called the juxtaglomerular complex, and these macula densa cells send chemical signals into the corpuscle with relation to the sodium ions. I think that's about it on this model.